Hey guys, Scott from FatB Trader here, just bringing you a quick update on the Euro US dollar trade we placed on probably about half an hour ago. So just want to draw your attention to a couple of things. First of all, I want to sort of explain a little bit behind why we actually took this trade. And to do that, we might just wait for a second because I think we're going to see the running of all stops above this prior high, so we might just wait until that happens. Because I imagine it's going to shoot through and then actually, and then probably fall back, if that makes sense, and actually come back down and sort of head lower. That's sort of what I was anticipating as per my comments on Profitly. That's really good that that's done. Let me just post an update on Twitter, and I'll come back and explain what I was going to explain before it actually closed the trade. So I've posted that alert on Profitly, and basically having a look at what's happened. You know, the price has fallen away from this key level, or this sort of stop run zone, which is essentially this point. Sort of a 10 pip range generally between the key level and where people stop out, because people place their bloody stops right after these key levels. So if you can use those to either exit your positions or enter your positions, then you generally get a much better fill over time. Obviously that adds up to more money in your pocket. So that's a bit of a side note, but let's have a look at why basically I've taken this trade, and go back to the 15-minute chart here. So having a look at this, you can see this 114.50 level is a key level. Now this is the immediate key level. So the green section here is London, the red section is New York. You can see high to low, like high of the day and low of the day. Basically this was never going to be a pivot trade for me, because at the end of the New York session price had come off that level and was basically back to the daily pivot, so there was never going to be a pivot trade there for me. And if we zoom out on a longer term basis, you can see that essentially you've got these key levels, the 114.50 level, the 114.20, and there's another one down here at 114.13, which I've been using. You can see sort of back here, which is basically what I might actually put that level in, because I've found that that's been a really very interesting level over the last couple of weeks. What I'm thinking and why I was actually taking this trade, obviously through Asia, I was watching it intermittently. It's been bouncing up and down to that 114.15, 114.14 level, and towards the end of the session I did notice that it had started showing quite a bit of strength, and it had actually pushed through. And I thought, okay, no, it's pushed through and then it's closed down, and it's just a little stop run, and it wasn't anything I was interested in trading. But then it actually closed above in the next 15-minute period, closed above the next 15-minute period, kept testing this level down here and holding. So when it actually cracked through 114.20 is essentially where I took the buy. So if I zoom in here on the 5, and we can actually have a bit of a look. Ooh, look at that. That might keep going, you know. Obviously my bias at the moment is long, for a couple of reasons, but that can change, so don't like latch onto that. My biases swing like crazy, because at the end of the day I'm a short-term trader, but just sort of having a look at this, this shows you how the US dollar has performed, or the yen's performed, dollar yen heading down, and the euro at the same time has basically been more or less static with these sort of massive moves. Longer term, I think the euro is a sell, but in the shorter term, it's definitely a buy on dollar weakness. So coming back to this, what actually triggered the trade was, again, pushing through that that level, that 122, that 114.22 level, and you can see through here there is a level of like I've got a support and resistance line sloping. It's held that level. I've got to say it basically raged from the second we pulled the trigger on it. at this point, I was almost considering breaking my plan, and actually just stopping out. I think I was probably 5 points at a loss back here, and yeah, I was thinking about stopping out, but obviously, my stops were down here, so it's not really an issue. But it just goes to show you that, it's essentially, well, you can see what's happened there. The price has come down, it's tested this level, and it's immediately closed above this little grey dotted line, which is the sloping support line I drew on a bigger time frame, you can see. So yeah, so it's obviously paid off, and it's finally hit that level and actually run, and it's done it all prior to news. Now there is a pretty decent amount of news coming out today. Most of that news is pound related. There is some dollar news later on. I'm anticipating we'll sort of see that theme of dollar weakness continue throughout this week, but you never know. Things have been just swinging around like crazy lately. So that's pretty much it for the moment. So that's it for now, guys. If you got questions, and you probably will have, because a lot of this stuff, there's a lot of stuff going on in my head, and sometimes it doesn't actually come out and isn't communicated well, because I'm just thinking on a different I'm in a different zone right now, if that makes sense. So if you've got questions, ask away. Happy to answer them, either on Twitter or Facebook, or actually I don't have Facebook anymore, so Twitter or Profitly, or shoot me an email over at the website fatbtrader.com. Alright guys, that's it for now. Till next time, trade well.